Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing good. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Glad the weekend's here. For all of those that are like me. That work. Monday through Friday. Well, for me, it's been kind of a busy, hectic week. I ain't gonna lie. This past week it's been pretty difficult. So glad I got a couple of days here, Saturday and Sunday, to kind of recover from it, rest up. And this week's been a pretty big shit show. I ain't gonna lie about it, but yeah. So I want to review a book for you. It's a book that I got a couple of years ago. My brother bought it for me from Amazon for Christmas a couple of years ago. It's published by National Geographic. It's called Atlas of the National Parks. This book was written by John Waterman. He was formerly a park ranger for the National Park Service. I believe he was a ranger at Denali National Park. And he works with National Geographic. And he travels, like all over the country to national parks, which is a awesome gig, working for National Geographic. That would be like a dream job for most people, that love going to parks and love the outdoors and love nature and wildlife, going out and exploring and discovering, cool places, exotic places and all the things that Mother Nature has to offer. And this book was published by National Geographic in 2019. And this book, it's very easy to find. You can find it anywhere, Amazon or Books A Million. Now, this book, it's pretty much like a science book, a history book, kind of like all combined in one. It talks about all of the 61 national parks in the United States. And it's a very nice front cover. It's a hard cover with a jacket cover. That is on the front cover, Arches National Park in Utah. So yeah, this book. It's very long, and it's like for me, it was hard for me to put it down. There's a lot of interesting things I learned about in this book, and some of the things that this book has to offer is the history of the national parks, all of the trails and activities, and all the things that the parks have to do activity wise, like as far as hiking, camping, and other sights to see, and what type of trees that are in the national parks, and what kind of weather to expect at each of these national parks. Of course, I've been to a few national parks myself. I remember in the late 90s, I believe, we took a trip out to Arizona and saw Saguaro National Park, and also the Grand Canyon National Park, which that was fun trip. It's a experience I never will forget from my childhood. And let's see, last year I went to Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. I live in West Virginia, and I've been to New River Gorge National Park, You know, went whitewater rafting there also back when I was probably like in high school. But yes, if you want to learn about these parks and you want to go visit the national parks, you know, this is a must read for you. And it goes, traces back to like people's, like, who played a big role in the preserving, you know, national parks, like President Theodore Roosevelt. You know, very good. He was a very good president. Of course, they named a national park after him. I think it's in South Dakota. It's named right after him, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. But one of the parks that I would really like to go to is probably, of course, the big one that everybody wants to see, I know of, is Yellowstone National Park. It's the, I think it was the first national park, oldest national park created, probably the biggest. And yes, it also speaks of like all the trails that he's hiked, you know, rock climbing. You know, John Waterman, you know, he travels, you know, all these national parks, and he's studied all of them, and he's, you know, put all of his knowledge of these national parks into this book right here. You know, yeah, this book, yeah, I found it pretty difficult to put down. Yes, and you, like I said, you can find it anywhere. About all bookstores will have it. Books A Million has it. It's not a hard book to find. It's very easy to find. Of course, most books from National Geographic you can find just about anywhere. But one of the things is, you know, it's like all of the wildlife that's in the national parks, you know, and like how there's wolves in Yellowstone National Park, there's alligators in Everglades National Park. But with me, I love wolves so much, so Yellowstone National Park would probably be like the one park that I would like to visit. So yeah, it's also there's places in Kentucky that are like mostly like caverns. It's called Mammoth Cave National Park. So yeah, like there's national parks, you know, it's just like exploring, you know, caverns, which I've been to a couple caverns myself. It's, of course, you know, I remember going to a place called Dixie Caverns down in Tennessee, and I remember how cold it was, you know, and cave exploring was pretty fun. We went there on a field trip when I was probably in grade school, close to middle school. So about all, you know, nature lovers, outdoor lovers, you know, people that just love national parks would have to have this book. You know, yeah, John Waterman, he's put a lot of his experiences in national parks, and he was able to put it all into one book. You know, this is like I think this book is like a masterpiece that he created. You know, it's like somebody who travels so much. You know, he was a ranger in the National Park Service. I think besides Denali, I believe he was also a ranger at Glacier National Park. So, but yeah, here's a good look at the front cover here. Here's the back cover, the spine. And as parts of reading this book, it's like the best way to say it is that it's kind of, John Waterman kind of writes it a little bit as, like I said, as a history book, and it's also kind of like a ecology, earth science book, and also probably like a world geography, like all the tectonic plates and all the different landscapes that make all these national parks, so unique, and all their characteristics, how they were formed and why they were named. But yes, I've been to a few of these national parks, and they are the greatest, and I think they should be protected and be respected and preserved, as well as the wildlife. And it talks about like all the wildlife that's there, from all the reptiles. Like in Everglades National Park, you have like alligators, what kind of birds, all the different tree species that you need to know, and all the information of hiking trails as well, and places I think to stay. I think it also mentions in this book like places to stay, as far as lodging and campsites. Oh, and what's that one place? National Park. It's Death Valley National Park in California. It's one of the hottest places on earth. And even John Waterman describes it in this book, how Death Valley National Park is so hot. It's not a place where you want to get lost. Yeah, it's like a place where you must have, like, if you're going to hike through Death Valley National Park, always make sure you have plenty of water with you, and your car has plenty of gas in it driving through Death Valley, because it's one of the hottest places on earth that you can go to, probably in the United States. But yes, Atlas of the National Parks has like some of the state-of-the-art graphic photos included, as well as maps and so forth, illustrations. So thanks for watching. I hope this review would interest you into buying this book. If any of you people that are watching this that want to travel to national parks, or if you've been in national parks and you decide you want to go in depth on reading about them, this is a perfect book to buy. It's like a coffee table book. Of course, you can tell by the size of it. It's very heavy. I can't remember how many pages is in it. But yes, once again, thank you for watching, and pick up this book, Books A Million or Amazon. You can find it anywhere, or eBay even, probably. So yes, it's very well worth it if you want to read, on national parks and this interests you. Yes, pick up this book. You won't regret it. It's very well worth the money. So that's all I have for this book review, and I hope you guys have a good weekend and stay safe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.